Thank you. Moving on to item number 3, roll call. The clerk will please take roll.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I'm here.
Great, thank you. Item number 4, correspondence and organizational business. Item 4.1, correspondence. If the clerk would please report the correspondence.
The Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent in the following: a cannabis license notification for M&R Distributing, notice of liquor license approval for Lucky Dog, and notice of liquor license approval for the Ford Oyster Bank. Jason Weber sent in an application for the Mason Transit Authority. Adam Birnbaum sent in an application for the Transportation Improvement Program Citizens Advisory Panel. And David Daly sent in an application for the Historic Preservation Commission. And a request for speed limit reduction petition was sent in for Southeast Lynch Road.
Great, very good, thank you. Item number 4.2, National 4-H Week Proclamation. Dan Tudenberg. Hi, Dan.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you very much for having us at our annual proclamation of National 4-H Week. We have a long-standing tradition with Mason County, and 4-H has partnered for many, many years providing positive youth development to Mason County youth and families. I'm excited to launch this new 4-H year. Our 4-H year starts October 1st, and we have some wonderful things planned, from robotics to archery to our summer camps to our club programs, baking, cooking, horse, sheep, all the things that go into building strong youth that are going to be wonderful leaders in Mason County in the future. So I appreciate our strong partnership, and I look forward to the year ahead. I'm happy to read the proclamation. It's a lot of whereases. So it says, whereas 4-H is America's largest youth development organization, having supported almost 6 million youth across the country thus far. And whereas 4-H has helped more than 1,500 youth in Mason County to become competent, independent, resilient, and compassionate leaders. And whereas 4-H is delivered by Cooperative Extension, a community of more than 100 public universities across the nation that provides experiences where young people learn by doing hands-on projects in areas including health, science, agriculture, and citizenship. And whereas National 4-H Week showcases the incredible experiences that 4-H offers young people and highlights the remarkable 4-H youth in Mason County who work each day to make a positive impact on those around them. And whereas 4-H's network of 600,000 volunteers and 3,500 professionals provide caring and supporting mentoring to all 4-Hers, helping them grow into true leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries. Now, therefore, we, the Mason County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim October 2nd through 8th, 2022 as National 4-H Week throughout Mason County, and encourage all of our citizens to recognize 4-H for the significant impact they have made and continue to make by empowering youth with the skills they need to lead for a lifetime. Once again, thank you, Commissioners, for all your support, and I look forward to a great year ahead.
Very good, thank you, Dan. Moving on to item number 3, park host needed for Mason County Oakland Bay Park. John Taylor, are you there?
I am, sir.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, sir. So we're asking that we be able to put out a news release asking for applications to fill the position which will be vacant at Oakland Bay Park.
Okay, I will read the release. Mason County Parks Department is recruiting an on-site park host caretaker for Oakland Bay Park. The successful candidate must provide their own RV, and the county provides water, power, and septic at no charge. Caretakers are responsible for opening and closing the park, site security, customer service, cleaning restrooms, and light maintenance duties in return for utilities. There is no salary or pay associated with this opportunity. Mason County Parks and Trails is looking for a person who is willing to work evenings, weekends, and holidays, can physically make rounds of the park, and have good communication and customer service skills, including the ability to remain calm and friendly when confronted with problems. Oakland Bay Park is located in Shelton in the 1500 block of East Agate Road. The park has 81 acres with several walking nature trails, a historic house, and restrooms. This park is under Capital Land Trust and is a conservation area. Caretakers need to be present in the evenings, Monday through Friday, and all day on weekends year-round. Please apply by completing a park host application located on the Mason County webpage at masoncountywa.gov/form/parks/park host applications, or contact Ann White at 360-427-9670 extension 535 with any questions. Great. Thank you. Now moving on to item number 5. This is our open forum for citizen input. It's an opportunity for members of the public to address the commission on items that are not on today's agenda or do not have a separate public hearing. If members of the public would like to make comment, they can raise their hand, get my attention. They have about a 3-minute time limit on comments so that we can allow as many folks as possible to make comments if they want. We'll begin with comment in the room. Are there any members of the public in the room that would like to make comment on items not on today's agenda? Cheryl.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm speaking for the League of Women Voters, and we are having our famous speed dating on October 13th from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Civic Center. So what the speed dating is, for those of you who don't know, is we have tables set up for every candidate that's running, and they will have people at them, spectators, you, except for you, Sharon, sorry. And the candidates will spend 8 minutes at each table and then switch. 8 minutes, 1 minute to switch, 8 minutes, 1 minute to switch. So if you're sitting at one table, you'll have an opportunity to talk to all of the candidates, and you can ask them questions, you can ask them specific questions. That's what we're doing it for. So again, Thursday, October 13th, 6:30 to 8:30 at the Civic Center. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Cheryl. Any other members of the public in the room have comment on items not on today's agenda? Okay. Are there any members of the public on Zoom that would like to make comment on items not on today's agenda? Either unmute yourself or use the raise hand feature to get my attention. Any members of the public on Zoom for comment? Okay, seeing none, we will close our open forum for citizen input. Move on to item number 6, which is adoption of today's agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move for adoption of today's agenda as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt today's agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? And the motion carries. Item number 7, approval of minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes for August 8th, 2022, August 15th, 2022, August 22nd, 2022, August 29th, 2022, September 5th, 2022, and September 12th, 2022 briefing minutes, and August 16th, 2022, August 30th, 2022, and September 13th, 2022 regular meeting minutes.
Watch how easy this is. I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of August 8th, August 15th, August 22nd, August 29th, September 5th, and September 12th, 2022's briefing minutes, and August 16th, August 30th, and September 13th, 2022's regular meeting minutes as presented. Any discussion? Just Mackenzie's obviously been really busy. With that, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The motion carries. Moving on to item number 8, approval of today's action agenda. Commissioners will read through the items on today's action agenda, at which time a member of the public or commissioner may ask to have an item removed for a separate discussion and vote. Commissioner Trask, if you'd please take items 8.1 through 6. Commissioner Netherland, if you'd please take 8.7 through 12. And I will take 13 through 18.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item 8.1, approval of warrants and treasurer electronic remittances. Claims Clearing Fund warrant number 8090404 through 8090482 in the amount of $1,382,498.62. Direct Deposit Fund warrant number 90043 through 90433 in the amount of $765,570.75. Salary Clearing Fund warrants number 7006877 through 7006912 in the amount of $1,025,200.90. Item 8.2, approval of the resolution to cancel outstanding warrants in the total amount of $4,026.80. Item 8.3, approval to renew the contract with Mason Web TV for live video streaming and video recording services for the Mason County Commission meetings. Item 8.4, approval of the amended agreement with Municode, which includes an annual flat rate of $6,475 with a 20% discount for the first year plus a $950 yearly hosting fee. Item 8.5, approval to appoint Deidre Peterson to represent the Shelton-Mason County Chamber of Commerce to fill a vacant vendor position on the Mason County Lodging Tax Authority Committee, also known as LTAC. Item 8.6, approval to amend resolution number 2022-002 to reorganize the Department of Community Services into the Department of Public Health and Human Services and the Department of Community Development, update the non-represented employee salary scale, and place the new Director of Community Development in range 46, Step 2, with an effective date of October 1st, 2022.
Mr. Chair, item number 8.7 reads approval of the amendment to the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, agreement between Mason County and the Mason County Housing Authority to add verbiage to the scope of work that assigned attestation is a form of proof of lost income or increased household expense due to COVID-19. Item number 8.8, approval to reallocate $90,000 of ARPA funds from Public Works Pump Station Number 3 project to Mason County Utilities arrearages. Item number 8.9, approval for the Department of Energy Management to apply for a grant through U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service Wildfire Protection Plan for $250,000 with a 0 to 5% match and approval of the letter of support from the PUD-1 grant application. Item number 8.10, approval to authorize ER&R to declare the attached list of vehicles and equipment and miscellaneous parts as surplus and to allow Public Works to dispose of said items pursuant to Mason County Code and state law through Washington State surplus auction. Item number 8.11, approval to appoint Jeff Carey to the Planning Advisory Commission, the PAC, for a term that expires January 31st, 2026. And item number 8.12, approval of the resolution implementing the Mason County Fire Marshal's Office burn restriction policy.
Item 8.13, approval of the letter of support for the Arc of the Peninsulas. Item 8.14, approval of the request for proposals for completion of the Squaxin Island Tribe and Mason County's Memorandum of Agreement Water Resources Inventory Area 14 inventories in the Goldsboro Creek and Johns Creek drainages. Items 8.15, approval of the Hood Canal Regional Pollution and Identification Correction Phase 4 Amendment Number 3 with the Hood Canal Coordinating Council to extend the end date from September 30th, 2022 to December 31st, 2022 and increase the maximum rebate amount from $350 to $500 per rebate. Item 8.16, approval to Mason County's response to the Squaxin Island Tribe's treatment as a state application to the Environmental Protection Agency. Item 8.17, approval for the county administrator to execute the easement agreement with the Washington State Department of Natural Resources for access across county-owned parcel number 12219-33-00000. And item 8.18, approval to temporarily promote Corrections Support Officer Brad McQuaid to Alternative Sentencing Unit Coordinator from August 8th, 2022 through December 15th, 2022 at Corrections Deputy Range Step 2. Commissioners, having read through the items on today's action agenda, are there any items that you would like to have removed for a separate discussion and vote?
None for me.
Okay. Are there any members of the public that would like an item removed for a separate discussion and vote? Are there any members of the public on Zoom that would like to have an item removed for a separate discussion and vote? Either raise your hand or unmute yourself. Okay, hearing none, Commissioners, I would entertain a motion on today's action agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move for approval of today's action agenda as presented in its entirety.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the action agenda in its entirety. Any discussion?
Just comments on a few of the items we made. So first of all, item number 8.3, Mason Web TV. Deidre, we want to thank you. You came in to do this in the beginning, when you didn't even have it as a job, you were doing it as a public service with tiny little cameras, and now I look at all this and everything we have. I remember also, except for the big microphone in my face when you first started. But with that, you changed the landscape of how we communicate with the community, and that was before COVID. Thank God you were here for COVID, because you brought an extra special treat to everybody. Well, I don't know if I have to look at our faces. My apologies then. But other than that, though, the conducting of business, you made all that possible, and the idea that we're going to up a contract with you again is wonderful, and I honestly don't think you get paid enough. Item number 8.7 is the approval of the change in the ARPA, and 8.8. I want to make clear that I am on the board for the Housing Authority, but as an ex officio. I have no voting capabilities, and I think I'm there representing the county, but I think normally I wouldn't have to say that if we represent the county on the board, but I don't know if we've ever established I actually am a representative of the county. So I just wanted to make sure so that I don't have a vote that is inappropriate. Jeff Carey, we appreciate all of our people that step up to serve on any of these committees. The Planning Advisory Committee, both me and Commissioner Schutte are both past members of that and know that it is a huge burden to take on. But I can tell you, Jeff Carey is a fantastic and well-educated person to do it. And the Arc of the Peninsulas, we are always thankful. You do such incredible work, and thank you for coming to Mason County and being a part of Mason County. You really helped here. And then one last little thing, and that is Hook and Out Coordinating Council. We have a little thing on here for just to change our contract, but they have helped us with our pollution identification program and the money that they provide us. They're one of the few organizations that give back and feedback. We don't just go and attend and give them the money and they actually give it back, and very thankful to them. And currently right now, Commissioner Schutte is on that. I served as the chair of it for several years, and I can tell you they're a wonderful organization and we appreciate them. That's all I have.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Trask, any comment?
Yeah, just real quick, I also want to thank Diedrich for all he does for Mason County. He's not just here, but he is everywhere. So I want to thank him for everything that he does for Mason County. Also want to welcome Deidre to the LTAC committee. We have a long-standing person that's she's leaving us for Thurston County. Can't understand that one, but I'll let her go. But really want to welcome Deidre to LTAC. Also, welcome Jeff to the Planning Advisory Commission. And like Commissioner Netherland said, our advisory committees are filled with wonderful people, and I appreciate all that they do. And of course, Tari with the ARC, thank you so much for being in Mason County, and I look forward to our lunch.
Excellent. If there's no additional discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The motion carries. Moving on to item number 9, other business. Are there any department heads or elected officials that would like to address the commission either in person or on Zoom? Anything? Okay. With that, we'll move on to item number 10, our public hearing set for a certain time. Item 10.1, a hearing to approve the resolution adopting the 2023 annual construction program and approval of the resolution adopting the 2023-2028 6-year transportation improvement program, and ask staff to come forward and brief.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Your county engineer is out inspecting a bridge right now. Otherwise, he would be here presenting the 6-year and annual program. I'm going to make just some quick remarks and then turn it over to our engineering and construction manager, Dave Smith, who can run through some of the specific projects. But what I'd like to point out, Commissioners, is we are requesting approval for a $12 million annual construction program next year. And of that, approximately $2.4 million is county road fund, and the rest is the 9.5. It has been grants that we've been secured for the projects. So that's a great leveraging of our local tax dollars, and proud to point that out. The other thing I'd like to point out as well is that you've been seeing for the last 2 years, we've been utilizing more and more of our road operations and maintenance crew to construct some of these projects. So we've been using our county forces to also stretch our dollars further. And every year we have a limit that's calculated. And the limit for county forces this year is about 1.3 million, which is typical. We're in that ballpark. And in prior years, we've been utilizing very low amounts. And this year we're planning about $1 million worth of county force work. So again, taking every opportunity we can to be able to stretch our dollars as much as we can. And we're really, really grateful for the fantastic work that the crew's been performing. It's just top notch. I know commissioners, you've had an opportunity to see firsthand their work, and we're very proud, and I believe they're very proud of their work, as they should be as well. So just a couple of little financial notes there, and with that I'll turn it over to Dave. If commissioners, oh, one other thing I'd like to make note of, thanks also to our tip cap. They have met throughout the year and reviewed and carefully, and also been out to the community to hear community concerns and recommendations for improvements, and have brought that to us to make sure that we're being mindful and hearing community priorities as well. So a big thank you for our tip cap members as well. All right, Dave, maybe some highlights? Lowlights?
Good morning, Commissioners, and thank you. Thank you, Loretta. I'm David Smith, Mason County Department of Public Works, Engineering and Construction Department. Before you, you'll find two documents. One is the annual construction program for 2023, and then the 6-year transportation improvement program. And as I'm sure you've noticed, the first 27 projects in the annual construction program are the first 27 projects on the 6-year transportation improvement. We refer to that as the element year, or the annual construction program. So I wasn't going to go through each one of these, but I'll try to answer any questions that you might have. Hopefully you've had a chance to review these and look at them. I know the tip cap has gone through these one by one. But if there's any questions you might have about this, I'll hopefully be able to answer those. And if not, I'll write the question down and I'll get you the answer from Mike when I see him.
Commissioners, any questions for Dave or Loretta? Okay. Members of the public, are there any questions for Dave or Loretta on the presentation in the room? Okay. Any members of the public on Zoom have questions for Dave or Loretta on the presentation? Go ahead and unmute yourself or raise your hand. Okay, very good, thank you. With that, we'll close our question and answer period if you don't have anything else. And then we'll move into our public comment period. So at this time, we'll invite the public to come forward if they'd like to make comments on the transportation plan. We'll start with folks in the room, so if you'd like to make comment, just raise your hand. I'll recognize you, come forward to the podium, state your name and or your where you live or your organization. Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners. Paul Winnicky, Superintendent, Southside School District. Very small school with a large problem on access to the school. Collier Road is an old road. The school's been in operation for over 120 years. The road is narrow, and with the size of the cars these days, we have a lineup at the end of the day where parents are picking up their students. The road is narrow where other cars that are trying to go around our line down Old Arcadia have a hard time pulling out of traffic and have to wait. We can get out there and direct traffic, but I'm not a police officer, but I do wear a vest. When we have others exiting, it's hard for 3 cars to pass. All we need is about 2 feet more of pavement on both sides to widen it, but it'd be great if we could have the dignity of curbs and gutters that most other schools have in an entry to the school. We have videos. We've talked with the engineering department. They've come out and taken a look at the issue. They understand that it's an issue. We're hoping that on your item where it says item 11, small countywide capital projects, I don't see anything designated there, so we're hoping that maybe we could address that through item number 11 or maybe item number 12 where it says neighborhood roadway safety grants. I don't know if a grant small enough under the $10,000 cap would meet our needs, so probably item number 11. We welcome the engineers to come back out and take a look. We have quite a lot of property on the backside of south side that could add to a potential easement, but that's millions of dollars for us in a time where we're facing a double levee failure. Southside's always supported our community, but in this situation, we believe that this is a county access conversation, and we believe that the conversation can really help parents. It's just a matter of time before we have an accident there, and we don't want an accident in front of the school. And now I'll step back for any questions about the project.
Great. Just a quick question maybe for Loretta. Is this something that we could maybe go out for Safe Route to School funding?
Yeah, and actually, I believe Dave and Mike, when they met with you on site, mentioned that or provided some information on that.
Right. We're very aggressive on going towards grants, so
Yep.
anything we can do to get steered in the right direction would be great.
Yeah, so it sounds like we should get back together and take a look at how to get a grant application rolling.
Amy?
Loretta.
Loretta, right, okay. And we have our board president and vice president here, Lori Cox and Gigi Olson.
Great, nice to meet you.
Appreciate you
Thank
serving.
you for
Yeah.
coming.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's something we could work on and figure out how to help.
And on that, there's usually a requirement though for some type of walking access in order to go up on those grants, but
Typically, they've made some modifications
Have
this
they?
year, Commissioner, yes. So, and have been very much pushing the program. So if any there were a time, this might be it.
Thank you,
Take
Ron.
some opportunity.
and we've gotten pretty good at shoulder widening. Maybe we should have a discussion as commission, bring it to us for that specific.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know that we've checked the right-of-way widths out there, and done quite a bit of legwork, so.
So we welcome to continue the conversation. That'd be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just real quick, I live right down Old Arcadia, and it'd be really a pleasure if you guys did that, because not only is it about the school and the kids, it's also about the neighborhood and people trying to safely pass other people. That it's kind of like a combat zone. People coming out of the school, people parked off to the side, anybody opens their door, it's a safety issue for all the neighborhood beside the school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may, Commissioners, you know, you might think, well, why are the kids being shuttled by parents and why not use buses? Well, you might be very well aware that finding bus drivers is also a challenge. So self-driving to school is up on the rise, right, as well?
Well, and they can't make them
Oh,
take
exactly.
the bus.
Yeah, no,
No, and with
absolutely.
COVID too, many parents don't want their students riding the bus.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of students that are outside of the school district come to our school, so that's another.
About 30%.
How much?
About 30% of the students come from outside our attendance area.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Keep us going.
Well, and that's because it's such an amazing school.
That's
That is.
That it is.
Great. Any other comments?
Yeah, if you could keep me in the loop, that would be awesome, and reach out to me too. That'd be great. Thank you. It's good to see you guys here.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking the time this morning. Any other comment on item 10.1 in the room? Okay. With that, I'll move on to asking if there is any public comment on item 10.1 in on our Zoom. Any public comment on Zoom? Okay, seeing none. Mackenzie, do we receive any written correspondence on item 10.1?
No, we did not.
Okay, thank you. Okay, with that, I'll close the public comment period on item 10.1 and move to commissioner deliberation. Or a motion. Excuse me.
Mr. Chair, I move for approval of the resolution adopting the 2023 annual construction program and approval of the resolution adopting the 2023 through 2028 six-year transportation improvement program, the TIP.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to approve, excuse me, to approve the resolution adopting the 2023 annual construction program and approval of the resolution adopting the 2023-2028 six-year transportation improvement program. Commissioners, any discussion?
Just a comment if I may. a special thank you to all those that served on TIPCAP. They did incredible work and worked really hard. In the past, TIPCAP was just a rubber stamp group, where this past group took the time to investigate and look at each and every project is quite an honorable task, and I just want to thank them for it.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Trask, any comment?
Yeah, just real quick. I have to agree with Commissioner Netherland. We have how many miles of roads in Mason County, and gravel road, to include gravel roads, and so it's not a small task to do this, and so really want to appreciate and send my appreciation out to TIPCAP and to staff. You guys work hard, and I'm sure you get a lot of comments, so we appreciate you so much.
Great, and I'll echo those sentiments as well. And it's we're probably not unique in this, but we have some interesting challenges and opportunities in Mason County when it comes to road planning. We have urban areas that are in unincorporated Mason County. We have rural areas that have their own needs. And as Commissioner Trask mentioned, gravel roads that we're in the process of upgrading, which is a huge benefit to our rural folks that use those roads, and in times during the winter struggle with having access to their homes and getting even access to school transportation and those kinds of things. And so I think the commission, along with TIPCAP and our staff, have really made an effort to look at the county holistically and find opportunities to make those investments so that we have a safe and reliable road system. And so just really grateful for all the work on that. And of course, appreciate the effort that went into it on the staff side. We're a relatively small staff per road mile, I think, and having an opportunity to get out there this summer and see our road crew doing some of that county force work was really exciting to see. That's, those are conversations that we have at budget time and when we're adopting our annual and 6-year tip, but to see them in action, was a lot of fun this year. Just hats off to our road crew and their versatility, and so they do a lot of really good work for us, and why I think we have, if not one of the best, certainly definitely a really good road system in Mason County that folks can be proud of. So just look forward to seeing these projects come to fruition. So thank you. With that, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, and the motion carries. And with that, we'll close our public hearings and move on to our board calendar and reports. Commissioner Levin, we'll start with you, Commissioner Trask, and then I'll wrap up.
So this last couple of weeks, I attended the Olympic Regional Clean Air Authority meetings. We had a celebration of life for Don Pauly out here in Shelton. He'd been around here for a long time and was very big with the car clubs. And after attending that one, I'm pretty sure he may have been the nicest guy in the world. Just the way they all presented him is just as sweet as we could be. A cute story came up as he was in the hospital and he was at the very end. His daughter and his wife had come in, and he always took very good care of his wife. And she looked at him, "Do you need anything?" He said, "Coffee." And she said, "You want coffee?" He goes, "No." He goes, "Coffee?" And he put his hands out and she said, "No." He goes, "Are you trying to tell me to get her coffee?" Because he gave her coffee every day. He said, "Yes." So she was asked to go get her coffee for that day. That's the kind of man I hope that in the end, when my time comes, I hope they speak of me in that way, some way. Parks and Trails, I met with some folks regarding Parks and Trails and some of the things and hopes that they have and hope to accomplish through them. Citizens on different issues with committees. The North Mason Chamber of Commerce had their annual gala, and I was honored to be nominated for a Citizen of the Year award, but I did not attend, and I wanted to make clear it was not that I was putting my nose up at them. That's not it. But my wife and my kids had given me a Father's Day present, and it was a concert for that night. And you don't, life is short. You just don't let those ones go. Everything else passes, but I put my family above the other, and I don't think that they would begrudge me that, but I wanted to let them know I did not just snub them. It did mean a lot to me. It just wasn't as much as my family at that moment. Mason Transit Authority meeting. I met with the Boy Scouts. They invite me at different places, different times. to meet with the scouts so they can receive their badges and help them with some of their projects and explanation of our great country. Mason County Housing Authority, we had our park tour of the parks down south of here, and that was wonderful with all 3 commissioners, and we had our briefings. We have a Board of Health meeting coming up after this. I have a chamber meeting, our second half of the park tour for the North Mason area. The Law Enforcement and Firefighters Board, Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization, the Mason Transit Authority Policy Committee, and a community barbecue up in North Mason that I will be attending. And that brings us back. We do it again.
Thank you.
All right, well, today I'm having lunch with Tari. And we also have Board of Health meeting this afternoon. Also, 30 minutes later, the Wasatch Federal Issues meeting. Tomorrow we have a Memorial Hall meeting. I'll be meeting with Green Diamond today. Also tomorrow afternoon is the Rural Community Resource Fair at North Mason Regional Fire Authority up in Tahuya is hosting a fair. It should be very fun and interesting. Community Action Council board meeting, set part 2 of our parks tour. Public Works Board Executive Committee meeting. PUD 1 is having their customer appreciation event. I have Wasatch Federal Issues, Oyster Funk on Friday, so don't forget it's Oyster Fest this weekend. I expect to see everyone here. And come to the Turning Point booth where we will be serving food. Also there is a memorial. Later that night is we'll be at the street fair or street party by a Wild Irish pub. And then Turning Point again or Oyster Fest on Sunday. Back to our briefings, Wasatch Virtual, soccer games for my granddaughter. She's amazing. Public Works Board meeting in Everett Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday morning, it's the Bite of Reality at the Shelton High School. So it's a pretty cool event. It's where they give the students a certain amount of money and they have to buy a car, they have to buy food, they have to pay rent. So it's a bit of a reality, and so it's kind of fun. At the Public Works Board tour, it's kind of cool because we'll have a ribbon cutting, and then it's just jam-packed full of meetings. And then I have jury duty for 2 weeks starting on the 10th. Back for our briefing and Wasatch Virtual Assembly.
There's a big murder trial coming up soon. Watch out.
Well, that's special.
Going forward today, also Board of Health. Later on this week, I'm also planning to attend the fair, the resource fair up at Collins Lake. Housing Behavioral Health Advisory Board, PD1 customer service or customer appreciation event, and I'll also be at the memorial service for Marie's husband. After then we have briefings, then I'll be heading up to Belfair to take a look at the old North Mason Regional Fire Authority station with Kelly Frazier, as well as having the EDC Legislative Committee meeting. Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization's interlocal leadership meeting, which is our meeting with the managed care organizations and behavioral health providers in the community. I'll also be speaking at the Mason County Republican Women's Lunch. And then I have the Mason County Canvassing Board manual adoption, so we have to adopt the state mandated changes to our canvassing board manual, so we'll be doing that on October 6th. Then back on October 10th for our briefings, our Mason Crisis Services System of Care Work Group, my bi-weekly check-in with BHASO leadership, and then also planning to have a meeting with leadership at Community Lifeline. Commissioners, any additions?
Mr. Chair, I'll probably see you at the resource fair, and I will try my best to drive in and attend Oyster Fest in some manner for a few minutes.
Stop by our booth.
I guarantee.
I support Turning Point.
No No business should or will be conducted at Oyster Fest.
No.
There's, other than
Well,
the business of
if you can
supporting-
understand it under the chewing with your mouth, talking with your mouth full, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Tons of fun.
Just, yeah, that's right. Glad to have that back. Looks like a decent weather weekend too, so that should be a nice weekend for everybody out and about. If there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Ch-
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. It doesn't sound like there's going to be any discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, and the motion carries. We're adjourned. Have a good day, everybody.